All right, we are bringing in a special guest. If you're watching college basketball right now, we are talking to the best college basketball player at the moment, Luka Garza from Iowa. How we doing, my guy?
Great. Thank you guys for having me.
No problem. Well, I think I have to start off the interview with a little bit of like calling you a Nancy. So you was 6'7" as a freshman in high school, right?
Yeah.
Could you like not jump over a piece of loose leaf? You couldn't dunk as a freshman?
I couldn't dunk as a freshman. I would try like all the warm-up lines in high school. I could never dunk. I'd get limp stuff. I just wasn't. I didn't have it until after that year, after my freshman season. Then I finally started dunking this summer, and I was 6'7".
Bro, I probably would have cut you if a 6'7" guy comes to the court and can't fucking jump. But that's what also.
Is that why is that when the viola career took off? You couldn't dunk, and then you put down the viola and you started. Yeah, I mean, you knew we were going there. I do have one question. It's a hilarious picture because the girl and the kid standing next to you, and we'll show it on the podcast, are both like 5'2". But the question I had, did they have to custom make that thing?
No, I actually had like, the biggest one they had, which was too small. So like my
yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah,
like you're the actual gif of like playing the mini violin when someone.
Exactly.
So Luka, of course, if the basketball career didn't work out, you had the viola as a backup. But in your family, the basketball history is well documented, right? You have your dad who played for Idaho, your grandpa played for Hawaii, and your uncle is the all-time leading scorer for the Slovenia national team, in addition to your mom playing pro in Europe. So just fill us in on just growing up. How much basketball was in your blood?
I was born into it. As a little kid, I always had a basketball around me. My dad was, obviously loved the game, and my mom too. So I just grew up with that. And everyone in my family, played some sort of sport. The only one that didn't really play basketball was my grandpa, who was a professional goalie and was like best friends with Pele, before he passed. So, it's awesome to come from a history like that. I was taught so much as a young age how to be, a sports player and how to be good on and off, whatever competitive field you're on. So, I was just really blessed to have the family that I do.
But your dad's a little bit nuts, right? I read, with all due respect, I read about the bricks with the defensive slides, and I know there's some stuff that they couldn't put in that article. Like, tell us what was going on in those off-season workouts.
My dad, he loves me. He wanted me to be as good as I could be, and he's still like that. I think, he's pushed me harder than any other coach I've ever had. And, I think he learned a bunch of methods growing up of different stuff and through his old college coaches. And he took me to train with his, Division I head coach in Hawaii. And that's kind of where a lot of the methods came from. And I think, my dad was always about just working harder than the competition. We knew, he was slow and unathletic, and he knew I was going to be the same way. So he knew the only way that I would be able to be successful was that if I just worked harder than everybody else. And, I think, no one really, kind of saw this from me besides my dad. I think he's the one that always was like, you're going to get here, you're going to get here. Before my junior season, we're in the summer working out, and he's like, you're going to average 25 next year. You're going to do this. And I'm like, no way. I'm coming into, a new role, but I don't think it's going to be like that. And, he really envisioned that for me. And, you guys are part of the reason he kind of got famous around Iowa City with that video after the NCAA tournament, when he was talking about the peacock fly.
That's what we were going to bring up next.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy.
He's like an icon in Iowa City now.
You got them thinking right now. They're worried a little bit. Come on. Oh! You got to let the peacock fly.
So was that came from the other guys, right?
Well, yeah, that's when he's like, I'm a peacock, let me fly. I mean, that's the best quote you could fucking have. Yeah. It really is. I mean, that's what you should be doing. After you dunk, you kind of show off your muscles, which is a little, they're pretty big. I'll give it to you. But if you just start fucking peacocking, I might lose my shit. Yeah, just go like this. What's up, motherfucker? People would lose it.
Yeah, so of course we talked about basketball and playing the instruments, but another hobby I know you have, and it was well documented during quarantine. Back in April, your teammate and good friend Connor McCaffrey, he posted a video of you going wild after securing your first solo Fortnite dub, right?
Oh my God! Shoot him! Shoot it! Shoot the rocket! No! No, he did it! No, he did it! Hey! 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 Ole! 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 Ole!
So when you hit a buzzer beater, what celebration, Luka, is going to be more insane? You running around the dorm or wherever you were, taking your shirt off, going crazy, or beating, I don't know, an Illinois or Ohio State team in a Big Ten at the buzzer?
We were talking about that, the other day. One of my roommates was like, I don't know what would be crazy if we won the national championship and you were running around or that celebration. I don't know. It was, for me, I never really played video games like that. I played a little 2K in high school, but, when Fortnite came out, I started watching and playing, and I really liked it. And, I was so bad in the beginning. It took me a while to kind of get there where I could win. And, they were coaching me to a win, and I got it. And I was just losing my mind.
I feel like your hands on a video game controller is probably the most ridiculous things in the world.
Yeah.
Your thumb, you go to press A, it hits fucking A, N, try, whatever it is. Speaking of more like viral moments, so like when you decided to come back, your senior year, you did "I'm not fucking leaving, I'm coming back." You had McCaffrey tweet out like, "Just respect Luka's decision." How did how did the fake out? How did everything go play into that?
So the night before the decision, I'm at home. I'd been staying at my girlfriend's apartment for like a month or two, so everyone on the team thought I was leaving because I wasn't around them as much. I wasn't in the house, and I was just, I was really just taking my time, talking to the right people, trying to figure it out for myself. And the night before, I hadn't told anybody what I was going to do. My dad, and he was sitting there, we're playing cards or something, and they kind of were just like, are you going to tell us, or are we going to have to wait till tomorrow? Because I was like, all right, I'll tell y'all. So I waited a little bit, and then I sent that video into like our little roommate group chat, and so everyone started losing their minds, and like we're jumping up and down, like going crazy. And then our idea was to keep freaking people out, like I kind of freaked out the whole team. So kind of was like, let me tweet something crazy just to kind of upset Hawkeye Nation, and that's what he did. So it was a lot of fun. Obviously I told the team again before, so that was that was a lot of fun. And seeing the response to the news, everyone was so happy for me, and I also had called Coach the day before. Just kind of felt like when I committed to Iowa, just kind of the happiness on both sides. So it was a lot of fun.
You talked about committing to Iowa and coming back this year. Back to your high school days, you're from D.C., and it's known that Iowa was your first offer, right? One of the only, if not the only school to offer you after your sophomore year. So talk to us about how, A, you picked Iowa, and B, why Iowa over anyone else.
Yeah, so I think, the reason I went to Iowa over anyone else was just, Coach McCaffrey. I know, honestly, he recruited me when I was young, like you said. I was a sophomore coming after my surgery. Before that summer where I lost a lot of weight. He saw me before then. And a lot of other high majors were kind of scared. They didn't see it. They didn't see it with, my athleticism and foot speed. But I was actually playing against Connor McCaffrey in an AAU tournament. And it was one of my first games off of surgery, and I played, our whole, team takeover. We were all like, there's one coach here because it's a dead period, and it's because his son is on the other team. So everyone has an opportunity right now to, play as hard as you can, and you might get an offer from Iowa. So, everyone was like hyped up for the game. We knew there was a huge opportunity for our team. We played as hard as we could, and I had a pretty good game. And I didn't really hear anything for like a month or so, and I thought, I would hear something. And then I ended up going to a camp, with Connor McCaffrey, the Nike Elite 100 in St. Louis. And so the first day, I meet him, and we're talking about it, and, he was talking about the game, and he actually didn't play in the game, but we were talking about it, and he was like, my dad wants to offer you. And I'm like, oh, really? I hadn't had a high major offer. I'd only had 3 offers up to that point. And so I was, really excited. And he came and watched me every single game in that camp. His son was playing. He made sure he was peeking his head in every single time I was playing and watching me play. And then he called me after the weekend. He would look at me after every game and kind of wink. So I'm like, I never met him. So I like, well, what's happening? And, he called me after it, and he offered me, and it just, we had a really long conversation. And, ever since then, it was just consistency. He was always there, always talking to me, always in my games. Some coach was at my games. And, when I started to kind of blow up towards the end of my senior year, at EYBL session, I started to get a lot more high majors. And, I think I just kind of rewarded the loyalty in the end. And, I saw it as a perfect fit because he saw me, before anyone else really believed in it.
I mean, going from D.C., which first of all, still doesn't make sense to me that it's not a state. I don't get, like, it's just in America, it's not, I mean, that's just fucking ridiculous. What are we doing here? We have 51 states here. But going from D.C. to Iowa, how the fuck does that, like, You just eating corn and shitting corn all the time? Like, how does that go?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think when I took my first visit, in my junior year, I was a little scared of what it would be like. I got off the plane, everything was flat. I couldn't see anything. I'm like, where are the buildings? I'm
Bro,
like,
that's exactly
where is
what I
everybody?
thought too.
I thought that means you could see everything. If everything's flat, you stay like 7 feet
No,
tall.
you fucking more. Oh, that's true. That was
You
good.
can see everything. Yeah.
So we got down to Iowa City, and Iowa City is really nice. I think there's just such great people, around Iowa City and the campus. I just kind of fell in love with the people and everything like that. And once I kind of got to know the team and the family environment we had here, it was just really an easy decision. I saw myself fitting in really well. We've had a couple guys from big cities too. I also got Joe Toussaint from the Bronx. So I think it was a hard transition at first. Especially during the season. I kind of was missing the big city. I'd never been in the Midwest really before. But I got used to it and I fell in love with it.
We have a guy who's from the Midwest, and he's from Iowa, Trent. And every time he goes near someone, he goes, "Oh, is that a Iowa thing? That's a Midwest thing, right? They're so nice, like oh," and it's like OPE they say it.
Yeah, no, everyone's so nice. That I definitely heard that before, and I've never heard that in DC. You bump into someone, there's a problem.
Yeah,
if you're on the metro, or
you better square up if you bump into someone.
Yeah, you got to watch your toes. But these people are so nice over here and so friendly.
You're obviously having a great year, and I'm sure you're enjoying your senior year. But we talked about it. I have this vision like you're a potential player of the year. Are you the unluckiest player of the year because you beat Carolina the other night? Normally, any other year, you have probably, I'm sure, girls waiting to say hello to you. Your teammates are having a big party, autographs, right? You got to go back to your room, and we heard through the grapevine, your post-game celebration is DM and Marty Mush. So, those, Heisman commercials they do now where they're all living in the house? In, 10 years, if you win Player of the Year, you're going to be like, people will be like, oh, I had this great party. I had this. Luka Garza will be like, yeah, DM Marty Mush, man. 2020, are you the unluckiest guy going right now?
No, I don't think so. I think anytime you're in this position, you're lucky to be here. But I think, over my career, we've had some big wins and we've had some great celebrations. So I think I've had, a lot to experience, especially last year with the year we had. That was a lot of fun in my sophomore year. I think, both years were a lot of fun and we were able to do everything and experience everything. But, this year, I think, it's kind of fitting this year because we're so locked into our goals, that you kind of just don't budge away from that. And, there's no time to celebrate because we're really just focused on the next step and just continue to improve. So I think, while it's, kind of different, it may be, a blessing in disguise for our group not to, get comfortable or anything like that because we have nothing to celebrate yet.
Yeah, so I'm going to take credit for everything you do this year. I will DM you after every win. And I'm also inviting myself to the Barclays next year when you get drafted. So I'll be next to you. So we have a long season ahead, so make sure you stay focused, all right?
I will.
So, Luka, based off of Rico's question about, of course, all the success and everything, earlier this year after the shortened season, unfortunately, and everything that happened, you were named National Player of the Year. Is there a moment where you sit back and you read that headline and you're like, holy crap, I'm the best at what I do in the entire country? Is there just you can't take it in kind of moment?
Yeah, no, after last year it was definitely, kind of a surreal feeling. I remember my sophomore year, I ended up going to the Final Four. And, I watched that when it was Duke versus Wisconsin. And I actually got to see Frank Kaminsky do a speech, about winning the National Player of the Year. And that was someone I looked up to, in high school, just, envisioning his game and liking how he played. And trying to take some of his moves as well. But I think, once I kind of started hearing that after my junior year, it was definitely surreal. Just to, I never thought I would be in this position. I think, and then all the credit goes to my teammates and just this university. Coming here, I don't think I would have had the same success at any other school. And I think just Coach McCaffrey had a plan for me. I worked as hard as I could to put myself in this position, and I'm going to continue to work hard to do that.
I hate that you're cool. It is so. I wish you were because when you're good at the sport, like Daniel Jones, he's good, but he's like a fucking stiff, like Jake over here.
Oh,
but you like, you got earrings in, you got swag, you're cool. I gotta ask the question though. Do you do stuff to your eyebrows? Those are the most perfect things in the world. I don't think a hair has moved on your eyebrow in fucking 6 years.
No, I think, I started hearing, a lot of feedback about my eyebrows, once I started getting kind of bigger and bigger. And especially, the NCAA tournament my sophomore year was the worst. After the game, I was checking in, and I see all these like memes and everything. Everything's about my eyebrows. We're not talking about how I played or anything like that. And so, I think, over time I've gotten, better with just plucking them and just like getting all the other hairs there. I don't want to have a unibrow. I respect Anthony Davis and what he does, but that's not for me. So, I've definitely gotten better with the routine of keeping them up and not making them look, kind of bad. So, I've gotten better.
I imagine like dropping like a triple double, and it's like, yeah, look at this guy's eyebrows. Like, fuck that shit.
It's got to work.
Have you ever gotten them waxed? Because I'll admit, I have.
What?
I've gotten them waxed. They clean up a little bit.
I mean, let me tell you something, Luka. This guy is the biggest stiff you'll ever meet. I mean, notice he says like, "Oh, that crap," but he hasn't cursed ever on an airwave. So please excuse him on the side.
No, but I'm going to be honest. I have too. I have done it before.
Thank you. How does that feel?
It feels great. My eyebrows haven't moved. My eyebrows don't move. I got a lot of other things I got to worry about. My voice, my fucking teeth.
It makes it, a little bit easier because, like, plucking them can be hard. It kind of hurts, just pulling them out or pinching skin or whatever. So I've done it before, and it was nice.
So the best player in the country and me, we share one thing in common.
Well,
we get our eyebrows.
It's definitely not being cool. I can tell you that. There's no other podcast going to be asking Luka Garza about plucking his eyebrows. I can tell you that.
Yeah. That's very true. I haven't heard it before.
So you beat UNC, because that's always a big question with Iowa, where it's like the special thing about UNC game was that you didn't start off hot, but you had like 6 guys on you the entire time. You was passing on. Then you guys like Bohannon, McCaffrey, and first of all, I'm going to tell you right, Bohannon's definitely a fuck boy. He's so I could tell he's the boy, and he just like giving a turnover to his guy after, and everything was awesome. Definitely a fuck boy. The way he's got the fade and shit too. But it was just cool to see like how it wasn't just the Luka Garza show at first. You were past like Bohannon. No one touched the rim for like 20 minutes. You guys were 3 after 3 after 3, and like seeing how you came back after was awesome. So now you beat UNC, and you have a look like you have Iowa State tonight, and you have Gonzaga coming up too. How does the preparation for like Gonzaga, or everyone's already talking about them, how does your preparation start with that? Just game by game?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely got to be game by game. The next game is the most important game for us, and so that's just what we're trying to stay focused on. We loved, our intensity and effort the whole game against UNC. Especially on the glass. That's the best offensive rebounding team in the country, and they are definitely going to be the biggest team we see this year. They had 4 guys that are 6'11" plus who were all very strong, and they were just, kind of obviously their game plan was to throw a lot of bodies at me. Double team me when they could. And, I definitely, couldn't get in a rhythm, a little bit throughout the game, missed some shots that I normally make, but, my teammates had me, they were knocking out shots, and that's what you have to choose. If you're really going to choose to throw everybody at me, we're going to kill you from the outside. And that's what the beauty of this team is. And that's why I came back to be a part of it. It's just, I saw the potential of this group. You have to really make a decision when you're playing us. But yeah, like I said, it's every day, just improvement and getting ready for the next game. We're focused on, obviously Iowa State tonight, they're a really good group, and it's going to be a lot of fun rivalry game. They're going to give us us their best. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And then, on to Northern Illinois on Sunday, and then we'll start getting ready for Gonzaga. But, each game is an opportunity for us to improve and show people why, we're the number 3 team in the country and climbing.
After every end one, the celebration's going to be for me. Like, all I'm going to say. I'm going to tell every one of my friends.
The peacock.
Yeah, anything you do, tell me what you're going to do, and I'm going to say, yep, that was for me. I need one this season, all right? I want one celebration just for me.
Okay, at some point, I'll definitely reach out to you and tell you.
There we go. You guys have any questions before my last segment?
Marty's about to fire away on what we call Martyisms, and I know you follow him on Twitter. He tweets out things that make your brain melt, and he's going to quiz you, I guess, on some of those.
Well, did you see the one last night? When you swallow, do your ears click?
Definitely heard it.
It clicked, right? And now you're never gonna. Now every time you swallow, you're gonna be this. Fuck, it's clicking again. All right, I want to give you a hypothetical. All right, you got 10 years in jail with your best friend. It's with your best friend, and you cannot get hurt in jail. Nothing will happen to you. It's just 10 years, and you could maybe get out on 8 years if you have good behavior. Or you go to the rest of your life in the jungle with a monkey that you can talk to, and you get a care package of food every day what you want. which one you choose?
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
That's
it's a tough one.
I think I'd go crazy with a monkey. I don't know. I'd have to pick tail.
Oh my God. Well, that's your father in your head, being like, you just love the torture. We saw the pictures with the bloody nose. Here, Luka, carry these bricks till you throw up. You're just a lunatic, which is great. I see it on the court. You're just like, yeah, all right, you want to put 4 guys on me? Body them, N1, peacock. So that's you, man.
I think, you could hoop in jail. You can play in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Rationalizing jail. This guy's nuts. I love it.
Good answer. I mean, I'm a monkey. I mean, I used to fucking go to a pet store every Friday in college and visit a finger monkey. So that's also why I'm a little nuts. His name was Momo. All right, another question. Why does glue not stick inside the bottle?
I saw this tweet. I don't know. I was talking about it. I think, the material of the bottle has to be, so it doesn't stick to the inside. So because I've never seen 2 glue bottles stuck together. I don't think
it has something to do with air. There's
yeah,
no
but
air
when
in the
you
glue.
when you push out the glue and the air is getting in,
it'll dry up if you keep it on the tip.
I don't know, Jake. I don't know. And last question I ask everybody: do you think we should have walls around the ocean? Do you think that? So think about this before. When you drive through a tunnel, right? You're driving through tunnels and shit that's pretty much blocking out water. So if we put those on the beaches, nothing's going to get to the street like during hurricanes, tsunamis. You just put big-ass cement walls, nothing's getting out.
But then you can never swim, and then you can never go to the beach.
No, you could open it. You could open the doors. There's a door you can.
The water goes through the door.
I could just see him. I could just see him at the line right now tonight. He's shooting 1-and-1s, and McCaffrey's yelling, and he's got Bohannon yelling, and his head goes, I wonder if we're gonna get flooded tonight, just because I'm on. Screwing this guy up, man. He's in a rhythm.
No, I just need to ask him. I love it.
No
I
road
love it.
games. You have the opposing student section in your face. Now he's going to be thinking about your questions.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Let's
Come
keep
on.
some focused. All right, you guys good?
We're all set. Thanks a lot, Luka.
Yeah,
I mean, ball out the rest of the season. We need this peacock celebration.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
I'll try to think of one.
we appreciate you coming on, bro. I mean, it's like you're the best player in fucking college basketball right now, and you're coming on our podcast, and we know your time is valuable. I mean, you have a game tonight, so good luck tonight. We really appreciate you coming on and supporting. So we'll see. We'll talk.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk before March too.
For sure.
All right, my guy.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
coming on,
tonight.
man. I'll
Thank
DM you after every game. I'm not kidding.
Please do.
Thanks,
All right.
Luka.